What's up everybody, AnimeX here, and in this video I'll be kicking off the pilot episode to the Potential of series. And in these forms of videos, I'll be talking about anime and anime characters, and kind of talking about what I think their potential is, whether it be as a series or as a character in and of itself. As the title and thumbnail suggests, I will be covering Boruto first. Just to let you guys know, I'm covering the series as a whole and not the main character of the anime / manga. I will be covering him in a different video. You'll start to get what I'm evaluating in the video itself, so I'll jump right into the analysis. So, without further ado, let's get started. So, the first thing that I'm evaluating is probably one of the more shallow things, but it is the strength / power of the series, alright, as a whole. So, now, as you know, if you've seen my scaling, I see the Naruto-verse as something that is somewhat downplayed, something that if you pay attention to is rather strong in terms of their AP and creation feats, and feats along those lines. Without getting too into it, I'll just say the Naruto-verse ranges anywhere from solar system level to universal if you use the Boruto novels. I personally am of the belief that Boruto will suffer from extreme power cliffing, very similar to how later parts of Shippuden did, which, depending on how you look at it, can seem very interesting for the series, or just another thing that the series fails to get correct in the series. We see that Boruto characters are on, if not greater than those, of the mid-level to higher-level Shippuden characters. That is just the nature of Shonen anime, right? That's just kind of how the shonen genre works. It's just pure progression in terms of strength and character development, but a lot of that character development does come from strength. As the story progresses, so does the power of the character, meaning that the god-level threats in Boruto will most likely be the strongest characters that we've seen to date. Prime examples of these villains or high tiers of strength are Momoshiki and more recently Jigen, who we both see far surpass the level of even threats like Kage that previously seen as gods due to their power. So I think in the end, Boruto will see at lowest they'll be like universal tiers of strength, in my opinion, and on the higher ends of the spectrum, we might even be able to see talk for like high universal, low multiversal series, which would be very interesting for the scaling of Boruto and Naruto as a complete franchise. In terms of speed, the series has always been a little bit more wonky, but I've seen some calcs that scale Naruto characters to millions of times FTL. Whether those hold up is very, very, very strange indeed. But, you know, I've seen those calcs. Hopefully at the end of the series we can see some infinite speed scaling due to the fact that some characters, maybe some time hacks, being able to move through stop time, breaking through and moving through time. That would be an infinite speed feat, just in case you weren't aware. And that would be very interesting to pull off and see in the verse. So it'd definitely make Naruto scaling a lot easier. This would prove to probably get the series a little bit more hype just due to the debates and scalings off versus battle videos that would come from that actual increase in power. Although, of course, this is speculation since for all I know, I guess, the creators of Boruto might make the scaling a lot more tame, or at least as tame as it can be now. But I'll ask you guys, how strong and fast do you think the series is going to get by the end of Boruto? This is a very interesting question. I'm curious to read through the comments and see how strong you guys think the verse is. So let's jump over to the next possibly most controversial part of the series, and that is the quality. Now, like I said, this is arguably the most controversial part of the video, and this is going to be the quality of the series and where I think the quality of the story, characters, writing, animation, and basically the entire series is going to go. So obviously this is going to be the point where I take some time to explain. So I'll start off with a couple of things that go hand in hand with each other. First off is the writing, plot, characters. Those kind of all go hand in hand, which is something that I think, at first, when thinking about the potential, made me nervous and wonder if it's going to head down a tragic path of trash quality, basically never picking up. But I'm feeling rather optimistic today, and so what the heck, I'll be doing a pessimistic video later. I think that in these next upcoming arcs for both the anime and manga, the plot, writing, characters are going to pick up dramatically. I think all of those three are just going to pick up. It's just going to be, as it's going on, I think it's going to pick up. I just think it's going to get a little bit better. In fact, I think that Boruto could possibly rise from its own ashes of the initial start of the series in manga and become something great. Something that, in my opinion, might even get to the point where it rivals Naruto in certain points. Possibly. It doesn't now. Just need to clarify. It does not do that now. But I think it is still possible. I don't think it's too far gone. Now, whether or not it will reach those points in terms of quality is questionable to say the least, but I think that Boruto is poised to make a huge power play and take the new gen anime game by storm. I'm talking Boruto could possibly be something worthy of actually being a sequel to the hit series Naruto, and if that is the case, then it will have succeeded as an anime. We're already seeing the pace and quality pick up with these new arcs, the manga and anime arcs, you know, both of them recently coming up. With the manga and the Jigen shenanigans, and the anime is Boruto going back in time for some interesting interactions with the old cast. Now, you could argue that Boruto may never be able to stand on its own without Naruto. In fact, I might make a video on why that's such a huge problem for the series, but assuming that Boruto can use this boost to gain momentum and propel itself into the realm of goodness, and possibly even great, maybe even great characters, and an exciting prospect to say the least. I mean, I personally want to see Boruto be good. I hope everyone wants to see Boruto be good. We are also seeing some, at the very least, interesting characters in the form of Jigen in the manga, and to some degree Urashiki in anime. Also, we cannot forget about like the one of the best characters from Boruto that originate from here is obviously Kawaki. Also, we see that the interest in the series is reaching some new heights, which may be an indication of rising quality. In terms of fights and animation, Boruto has never seemed to miss it. It hasn't really seemed to have a huge issue. Whether it will not be in the future is very unlikely, in my personal opinion, just due to the fact that we've seen what the animators can do in Boruto firsthand, which, we see from the Momoshiki versus Naruto and Sasuke fight, where they really put their minds to it. It tells me that I shouldn't have to worry too much about that. In fact, I find myself looking forward to seeing some of the fights in the manga adapted to the anime, and I kind of look forward to see some of the fights that we'll see in the anime with the, old people, not old people, like the old cast interacting with the new cast. So I just think the visuals can blow me away, just like Sasuke and Naruto versus Momoshiki fight, like I've already said before. We also see, for some reason, the manga seems to be trying to make an effort to make the new cast and old cast interact interesting ways, which could possibly result in something good, although at this point it's rather hard to tell. So once again, let me know your thoughts on the matter. Will Boruto's overall quality improve? Will the characters and writing get better? I really want to know your thoughts. So once again, let me know in the comment section. But with that being said, let's move on to the next section of the video. Now this one is definitely on more of like something that you can kind of analyze and a little bit more on the objective side, you could say. But this is the longevity or the potential for Boruto to become a longer running series, similar to something like Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, that type of thing. How long will it run, basically? Now, this is going to be covered, and this is due to the fact that it's very straightforward in nature. It's a straightforward evaluation of the longevity of Boruto and basically how long I see this series being overall, assuming that it doesn't get cancelled for any reasons of quality or anything like that. Now, the simple answer would be as long as the creators of Boruto possibly think they could keep milking the series dry. The longer answer takes a little bit more thought and effort, and that's just due to the fact that we don't know very much about the direction that Boruto is going. And with the monthly manga chapter release format, and Boruto starting off an anime-only arc, it's very hard to predict where the story is going and how long it will take to go on and wrap up the story of Boruto. But seeing as how I'm making the video, I will do my best. As I said earlier, we do know that there's going to be upcoming time skip, and we also know that Jigen couldn't possibly be the last villain in the manga, at least based off of what we've seen so far. At least Jigen in his current form will not be the final villain. Maybe Ishiki taking over Kawaki will be the final villain, but that's a theory for a later video. Based off of the anime/manga, it's going to be chugging along for a little bit of time, and I think it's actually going to be going for a lot longer. Now, I predict this series in terms of real-world time could at least, this is the bare minimum assumption, right? Could take anywhere from 3 to 5 more years to complete if we assume that there are no inconsistencies within the releasing of chapters and episodes, which we know there obviously will, and so take that timeline with a grain of salt. The reasoning for this is saying that it could take so long as why it's most likely that's a low ball. It's just due to the fact that the pace of Boruto as it is now, it can only release 12 chapters per year, meaning that only another 36 chapters would be released in 3 years, barely doubling the length of the anime. In 5 years, 60 more chapters would be released, but if you compare that to even the original run of Naruto, which is about 244 chapters, this would mean that Boruto would come out to a little bit less than half of Naruto. I personally think that would be very difficult to wrap up the story of Boruto based on its current trajectory, unless it's kind of in endgame territory already, which I doubt it would be in 39 chapters in. Along with the anime wouldn't be able to end for a while just due to the fact that anime is way behind in terms of catching up to the Ken material, and just assuming the filler gaps, like where they usually would go, yeah, it's going to be a while. So I think that Boruto is here to stay for quite a bit longer, so I don't think it'll be ending soon, but based on my predictions for the quality of Boruto that will be coming up soon, I don't really think that's a bad thing. But just like the other segments, I'm going to ask, how long do you think Boruto is going to keep up anime, or keep going anime and manga-wise? Besides that, though, I personally think that Boruto will be here for the long run. I honestly think and hope that throughout the series, Boruto does continue to step up its game, and for the next couple of years, we don't have to deal with complete and utter garbage. And with that, everybody, that was the last point that I wanted to bring up for the Potential of Boruto series. Like I said, this is kind of a pilot episode, so you could kind of gauge how much you think you'll like this series. If it gets a lot of support, a lot of likes, whatever, not a specific like goal, just if I see a good amount of support from it, right, a good amount of people wanting to see more, I'll definitely make another one, maybe with MHA, Demon Slayer, something like that. If you guys want more segments of things that you want me to predict or like kind of potential of something, right, within the series or within one more quality that you want me to kind of think of the potential, just let me know in the comment section down below. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you hope to see more of it, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to show some support on this form of video. Hope you enjoyed the video, and as always guys, this is AnimeX, signing off.